Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the lovely Meghan from MK Aesthetics London. Meghan, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Glad to be here.
Good. So let's just kick things off by talking a little bit about your background then. So do you want to just give us some insight into how you got into the industry, where it all started and how you built your business to where it is today?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a mental health nurse by background. So I was working in the NHS for about 7 or 8 years. Always had an interest in aesthetics. My main kind of reason for getting into aesthetics was giving people more confidence. I like people to kind of feel good. And within my mental health role, although that happened at times, it didn't happen quite a lot. And it can be a little bit tough in that sort of sector. So yeah, I started my level 7 with Harley Academy. That was my first venture into aesthetics. The reason I kind of did that is because I had no real, experience kind of working on the face and facial anatomy and all of those sorts of things. Mental health nursing is, not quite related to that. So I wanted to get a really good knowledge base. That's where I started. So I done my level 7 with Harley Academy. And then I just went on to do more and more courses as I kind of progressed. So starting with all my foundation kind of courses, and then I went on to the advanced, etc. So I built my business literally from scratch on my own. I have, and I still do have, a room in my home that I work from. I also have other clinics that I work from as well, and where my academy is based also. But yeah, started at home, and it takes a lot of time. It's not something that happens overnight. I think a lot of people kind of getting into the industry recently feel like, why are things not happening so quickly, and why have I not got these hundreds and hundreds of clients? And it really does take a lot of time to build up it. I've been doing it for about 6.5 years now. And I have quite a good client base, but it does take time, and it's hard work. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I love the feedback I get from my clients, making people happy when they leave, giving people self-confidence. It's really, really, yeah, I really enjoy that.
Amazing. So just going back to your initial training then. So I think I don't want to say it's rare because I'm sure a lot of people probably have, but I don't come across practitioners that
Yeah.
often who go straight into the level 7 as the starting point. And do you
Yeah.
know what? I was literally thinking yesterday, if I was to ever do aesthetics, that's where I'd
Mm.
want to go. Not even due to the regulation, but I just feel like obviously it's an actual meaty qualification. You learn so much. It's a
You do.
great starting point. Would you say that when you had finished your level 7, you felt 100% sort of confident, ready to go?
I don't think after any training course that you do, really, you feel 100% ready to go. I think there is always kind of a little bit of anxiety about it, a little bit of worry. I think that's really good to have though, because I feel like if you don't have some of that, then you're a little bit too overconfident perhaps, and are not thinking about safety aspects. But the level 7, I mean, with the company that I did it with, it's very intense. So you have a number of mentoring sessions where you're with, a clinician on your own, kind of one-to-one. You have observation sessions. So you watch another clinician who's really experienced, do a number of sessions. I think it's about 10 sessions for every aspect of that. And it is very comprehensive. And then you do have a lot of, essay writing to do, a literature review, etc. So yeah, it really did instill a lot of knowledge in me. So I did feel fairly confident. But I think there's always, when you first start out, it's just having that experience of working on someone's face and injecting the face. I think it's all quite it is quite scary to begin with. But I think that's really, really normal. And I think it's quite good to have a little bit of kind of anxiety about something, because then you know that you're going to do a really good job and you're going to take a lot of precaution and, be as safe as possible.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'd be quite naive of someone to think that they are going to qualify and then not have any questions for their academy or not need
Exactly.
any support. And I think genuinely, like you touched on, a lot of people do kind of think that. They think, okay, I can do my 3-day course and then like I'm good to go. I'm an expert.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately not the case. But do you think that a lot of that comes from training academies promoting themselves? in the wrong way.
There's lots of people doing training now, which is great. But I do think that sometimes we're not looking after the students maybe as much as we could do. Sometimes, obviously, financially it's good for the training academy, but I think support after training is really, really important. And I do think that sometimes it's lacking a little bit from training academies. You kind of, like you say, do the training and then kind of see you later, and there's no support afterwards, which is obviously why with our academy you get ongoing support from any course that you do. I'm always on hand to answer any questions. I have people messaging me that I've never met, and asking me things, and I'm always here to support people. But yeah, I think it is something that I think could be improved in some academies, definitely.
Yeah, because I think what I see a lot when I'm speaking to different practitioners is they're kind of promised the world by different academies. It's like, you're going to get all the support you need. You're also going to make 10 grand in your first month.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. I don't know why people are saying things like that. It's just,
I know. And
really
obviously, particularly, 18, 19, 20-year-old people who come across these ads on Instagram, like, oh my God, like, yes, sign me up.
That's my life is made. Like, it doesn't take any work.
And it's like an advert with like Dubai in the background, like a pink Rolls Royce. Like, this could be you. And it's just selling the wrong thing. Like, the reality of aesthetics, or in fact any industry. I'd be doing it myself if I was going to make 10 grand in my first week, like,
exactly.
I think there's a lot of mis-selling, particularly from the support side of things as well. There's so many practitioners who qualify and then they end up just being very much left in the dark.
When I worked for a previous aesthetics training school, I've had people that come have done their training, and then because they don't have any support, they then don't go on to kind of pursue that career that they've paid thousands of pounds for in training, and then because they don't have the support, they don't go on to kind of use it, which is really upsetting. Like, it's really unfair, really, for the people who are spending all that money.
Just going back to your level 7 then, was at that point when you were thinking of getting into aesthetics, did you consider doing CPD courses instead of your level 7? What was sort of your thoughts around that, and why you decided to do your level 7 at the time?
I mean, I did look around, and there was really short courses, so a day course here and a day course there, and I just, for me, because of my mental health nursing background, obviously I do have quite a good knowledge of anatomy, etc. But I didn't inject people on a regular basis. And if I injected people, it's normally in their bum. So it's nothing like injecting their face. And I just felt like for me personally, I just want to know that I've got a really good knowledge. And when I was looking for the courses, a level 7, because it was so detailed, and there was a number of sessions where you got to observe, because people learn in different ways, right? So some people are really practical, some people learn by watching. So there's lots of different avenues. They have lots of e-learning as well, so some done at home. It just seemed so comprehensive and so much knowledge there for me to gain. It made me feel more comfortable as a practitioner then going out and getting clients in. I can, you can say, I've got all this knowledge and I've done, it's an intense course. That's kind of what drew me to it, really.
Just going back to your mental health experience as a mental health nurse, did you find at the time that a lot of clients you were speaking to were feeling down about their appearance? So was that kind of one of the reasons why maybe you got into the aesthetics industry?
I think there's a lot of people that feel a little bit down about their appearance. I think obviously social media is a big kind of impact for that. But I wouldn't say specifically kind of my mental health patients, although a number of people that I do see are normally on an antidepressant medication, actually. Quite a few of them. For me, I never really when people come to me for like consultations and things, I always kind of talk about what their concerns are. So what are they concerned about, rather than what I can generally see myself?
Yeah.
Because I like to kind of try and address what their concerns are, rather than bringing in other concerns that they might not have ever thought about before.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I'd say I wouldn't say my mental health patients I saw. I think I've got the wrong end of the stick of this question. Sorry.
No, it's fine, lovely.
Start that again.
What I meant was
Yeah.
when you were just having mental health client patients,
Yeah. Yeah.
did they come to you because they were like um
Worried about their appearance?
yeah, that's what I meant. Obviously,
Yeah.
I know anxiety and depression is a lot more complex than just that, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. So yeah, I would say some of them, I'd say generally kind of the younger population. Sometimes that was a bit of an issue. And I did work within eating disorder services as well and things like that. So that was always, obviously, there's a lot of body image stuff going on there. So yeah, I would say that I did see a lot of it, but I wouldn't say that's a significant reason why I went into aesthetics as such.
okay. And with regards to the clients that you currently have now, how do
Yeah.
you feel your background in mental health helps support your current clients? Because I know, like you said,
Yeah.
mental health is such a huge thing.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of people are on antidepressants or medication
Yeah.
to help with their mental health. So
Definitely.
how in clinic now do you find that your experience benefits that and benefits your clients?
Yeah, I would say that I'm very kind of understanding. Like I said before, when I'm doing consultations, I try and kind of tend to think about what their concerns are, rather than bringing new kind of things to light that may not be a concern of theirs. I also kind of think a lot about body dysmorphia, things like that. So there is some guidance within the nice guidelines that talks about questions that you can ask your clients.
Yeah,
I tend to use maybe one or two of them kind of in conversation
yeah,
to see how that kind of goes. And if I am concerned, obviously, I would always say that, it's ideally not for me to give you treatment today. But I guess when you go to any sort of, whether it's a beauty salon or you go for like a massage or your nails, you always get into kind of conversation. And it is a little bit like a bit of a therapy session
yeah.
sometimes with clients. So we do talk things through. I probably know a lot about a lot of different things that their friends might not even know about, which I really enjoy. But yeah, it's just about being really patient, being kind of open. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think this is something which I've been talking about quite recently in terms of practitioners, perhaps not from the same background as yourself with that experience dealing with mental health clients,
Yeah.
is how in clinic to kind of spot different things, whether it be mental health related, whether it be they're going through something like horrendous at home, or and
Yeah.
how to offer that support, because that's not something you learn in your training course.
No,
I think,
definitely not.
I think it's something that as a practitioner you sort of have to pick up and sort of learn yourself and navigate through. Is there
Definitely.
any sort of advice you'd give for any practitioners just around that and how to spot these things within clinic and how to offer support to clients?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, consultation is obviously your first and foremost part of that, and really, really important. Consultation should be a really good conversation with your client and really get to understand what it is that they're looking for and why. What's the reason behind it? Normally there is a reason. Normally, it could be that someone has said something about their appearance, or they've just looked in the mirror and they feel a lot older. So within the consultation, you're going to ask if they're seeing a specialist or a consultant about anything. Obviously, that would then lead to a conversation if they was. The difficulty with aesthetics practitioners, is that we don't have access to records, so NHS records, anything like that. So we go on what that client is telling us. Things like, so for me, if a client comes in and says something like, I've been here, and here, and they just can't fix my problem, or, I've been to lots of different clinics and they've never just got it right, or they've never, it doesn't seem to have gone to plan and it's not rectified the situation, or they're kind of pointing something out on their face that really is not, it's not like an alarming deficit or anything that you can really see. Those sorts of people kind of ring alarm bells for me. They're people that are probably not going to be happy no matter what you do, especially if they've been to lots of different places. And sometimes it's better to say no and not treat someone than get yourself into a situation where you've got a client who, who's never going to be happy with what you do, what treatment you do. Sometimes, although you want to make a living and you want to earn some money, it's better to say, do you know what, actually I might not be the practitioner for you. It's about a really good consultation is what I would say is a really important thing. You can look out for medications as well, pick up on some medications that could be used within the mental health setting, just to give you a bit of background. And I think I touched earlier on the NICE guidance for body dysmorphia. There is actually a lot of information under recommendations for some questions that you can ask within your consultation. It might be that you just ask maybe one or two of those questions. I think one of them is, how long do you spend looking at yourself in the mirror, for example, in a day? And, if it's a considerable amount of time, then it's something that you might think, actually, this is probably not the route for us to go down. But then again, it gets more tricky, because then it comes to, if we would like to refer that person to their GP, we have to get consent for that. So again, it's a really tricky situation to kind of be in. But I would ask some of those questions, get a little bit more background knowledge on their medical history, medication. And I always think that the best way to say it is just that I'm probably not the practitioner for you. And that kind of makes it, because it can be a bit of an awkward, an awkward conversation as well to have.
Definitely. Just so in case anyone's not aware, we do have a body dysmorphia consent form on Faces as well. So you might choose to send that to every client. You might choose to send that to select clients if you're getting a vibe, or if you're not feeling, if there's something sort of niggling at you in terms of the things that they're saying. Use that consent form, and that you can make a decision based on their answers and things like that. I think that's really, really helpful. But I think that's what a lot of practitioners struggle with is, turning someone away for those reasons that we've mentioned, but then kind of feeling, was that the right decision? And kind of not really knowing where to go with it, particularly if someone's really opening up about their mental health quite a lot, and they're clearly really unhappy. Then I think a lot of practitioners feel like they need to take some kind of action, but it's how to deal with that and where to guide them, which I completely understand.
It is very tricky subject. Like I say, you can always suggest a GP referral, but if you was kind of really worried about the person and you thought that it was something kind of life-threatening or whatever, then you are in a position to kind of call a safeguarding hotline and talk to them about it as well, because it'd all be confidential. But if someone, if they're at risk of like ending their life or those sorts of things, then that's where you would go.
Okay, no, that's really helpful. So just moving on to treatments then, Megan. So obviously you've been doing aesthetics for quite some time now. What treatments would you say your clients are loving at the moment? And do you want to just talk a bit about the demographic of clients that you tend to treat?
So I would say I treat quite a vast age group, actually. So I between kind of 19, 20 to like some of my oldest patients about 75. So really broad range. I mean, the top treatment for me, I think probably everyone would say this really, but Botox, everyone loves Botox. And I think it's for every age range as well. Obviously, you've got those younger patients that are using it for preventative reasons. And then your older patients, some of them have been using it for a long time. And others who are kind of just getting to, maybe late 40s and wanting to kind of refresh themselves a little bit. So it is my favorite treatment. When I started having treatment, that was the first treatment that I had. Still love it now. So most popular and one of my favorites. Skin boosters are getting really popular, so more and more popular actually, and they're developing in a lot of different ways. There's lots of more specific skin boosters for areas on the face, under eyes, more so at the moment. We've just launched our Amelia skin booster, So it's a polynucleotide skin booster with a gel. So it's incorporated in a gel. It's amazing. The results have been like great. But it can be used all over the face as well. So that's really popular.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love them. I think the thing about skin boosters is because they don't kind of change the shape of your face as such. It's not kind of as drastic as dermal filler, for example. Lots of people are much more open to skin boosters than they are dermal fillers at times, especially kind of older clients as well.
Yeah, I think they're fantastic. And me too, like I just absolutely love them because they're a great treatment to offer as like a maintenance treatment to just obviously give someone a nice glow, make them feel refreshed. But I think the psychological aspect of going to the clinic and getting a treatment is a huge thing within this industry. So, for example, with clients who maybe have a lot of dermal filler in their lips, for example, who don't necessarily need more filler, for them it's like, oh, I'm gonna go get my lips done. So it's like that psychological something to look forward to. So I think that's where skin boosters can really have a positive impact because they might not need any more dermal filler or that anti-wrinkle, but instead they can.
But it's just the experience, like you say.
Like they can still get a nice treatment as well and come to the clinic.
Definitely. You can never have too much skin booster.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
So,
not a thing.
what do you want to just talk a bit more about the polynucleotides?
Polynucleotides, yeah.
That word is everywhere at the moment.
I know it
you know
is.
what? I'm trying to improve my knowledge. So can you just explain it a little bit to myself or anyone else watching?
Yeah, definitely. So polynucleotides are derived from salmon DNA, basically. They're injected underneath the skin and they work on the fibroblasts. So they really help to get the fibroblasts working correctly. So it kind of remodels the skin, it boosts collagen, but it actually changes how your skin works. So you're not like, how you inject hyaluronic acid, for example, and it kind of plumps the area.
Yeah.
This actually does something within the skin. So it changes how the fibroblasts work and you build more collagen. So yeah, it's an amazing treatment. It works over time and continues to work. So it basically changes how your skin functions. Does that make sense? Whereas hyaluronic acid, you're just giving it a blast of hydration, which is lovely, but it's not really actually doing much.
I mean, it's the science behind it, which is,
do
you know what? It's crazy because there's so much more research and knowledge and scientific evidence around aesthetic treatment to the point where I think, oh my God, in like 10, 20 years time, like where are we going to be? It's crazy, but also very exciting. But
it is. That's why I love the industry because it's always evolving. There's always new things. There's always new stuff to learn. Love it.
Yeah, amazing. I think with skin boosters as well, like if I was a practitioner, I'd be like, there's a new skin booster out every single week. Like, how am I meant to keep up with this?
Keep up with it. I know it is true.
What are your top?
I think people do get a bit overwhelmed by that, actually.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I've just introduced my clients to this, but now everyone on this group chat is saying like, this is fantastic. Like, I don't want to keep swapping and changing and having like a list of like 50 skin boosters to offer. So what top 3 skin boosters would you recommend at the moment?
So I would say I'm going to have to say Mila because I've just trained with that and it is really good. It's given me really great results. And I used to use Lumii for underneath the eye, I'll be honest, but actually this I'm finding such much better results with this. Profilo, always Profilo. Profilo is, it's been around for a long time. It's my golden old, I just love it. Especially for mature clients. So for mature ladies and men, Profilo is for me. I think I get the best results. And then the 70 Hyal, I've been getting some really good results with that. And I use that generally on younger clients. It's really good on the neck area. So yeah, they're my top 3.
Amazing. I always like to ask everyone because I think it's good to get like some solid recommendations, particularly if anyone's watching and is looking to try some different skin boosters as well. Just with regards to the future of MK Aesthetics London then, so you've just launched your training academy, which is fantastic. Where's the business going with that and also in the next sort of 6 to 12 months?
So hopefully we will have a new location. This will be probably early next year. So it's going to be a bigger location where we can do clinic-based treatments, and I can do training all in the same area. So that's our plan for early next year. We're going to be offering a number of different courses, and we're also going to be offering the levels 4, 5, and 7, hopefully by the end of next year as well. So yeah, lots of new courses coming, and some online content as well that is kind of reasonably priced, but people can access it, keep it, use it. So yeah, that's all coming soon as well.
Amazing. That's so exciting. But with regards to the online content, I think that's where maybe previously the industry has lacked, is the online options. Like I know at one point with COVID there was all like online courses, but I think just having access, like you say, to videos, like techniques, just that information, just so you can refer back to it, because not everything in your training manual is going to be covered. Like sometimes you might just need to see the treatment happening, refresh your memory. So I think that's fantastic. Just touching on regulation then, so obviously you're launching your level 4, 5, and 7, which I guess is good timing potentially. What are your thoughts on the regulations and kind of what's been talked about at the moment?
Yeah. So I'm obviously welcoming the regulations. I'm really, interested in patient safety, and also for us practitioners, a place to know what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, because it is so all over the place. I don't think anybody really knows exactly what should be happening. So I think that's really, really helpful. I'm going to talk a little bit about medics and non-medics, because I think everyone talks about that, and it's like such a taboo kind of subject, really. My view on medics and non-medics is that if you're treating safely, if you've got the knowledge, you've built up the knowledge, you've got experience. There's people out there who've been doing aesthetics for years and years and years and are not medics, and are really, really good at what they do. So for me, as long as I think that they have the knowledge that they need, I think there is going to be some specifics about what that knowledge does entail when the regulations come out. I would probably say that we're all going to have to be level 7 educated, as far as I know, because there's medics out there that don't have a level 7. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be a good thing. I hope that it is not going to, restrict people or take people's livelihoods away, because, people have made, futures with their aesthetics businesses. So yeah, I'm all for it in terms of safety. So yeah.
We'll just have to see, won't we? But yeah, I think you're so right. I think patient safety is obviously at the front of everything and should be. But like you say, someone who's been doing aesthetics for 15 years against a medical professional who's just qualified, how can you measure that? But moving on to faces then, so obviously you've used faces for quite some time, so thank you very much. You're very much a loyal faces user. Do you want to just talk a little bit about how faces has helped with the runnings of your business and what features you like to use of the app?
Definitely. So my favorite thing, obviously, all the preloaded consent forms that are editable are my fave, because you literally can click a button, it's all there. If you want to add or take away, you can add questions in and take them away. My aftercare forms are sent directly to my clients, which I love because I forget stuff all the time. So I tell my clients the aftercare, but I mean, I just wouldn't remember. So I love that that's sent. They've got it. I don't even have to worry about that. Press the button, it's gone. Everything is stored obviously electronically. I don't have any paper files and stuff. It's clinic room. So yeah, also in terms of ordering things online, I used your CPD accreditation contacts on the Faces app. I used the Sharps people from your Direct 365 from your app again, and obviously you can order products and things from there, which is really, really helpful, especially if you're on the go, you've just remembered you've forgotten something. You can literally go on, order, and you know that you've got it. So yeah, it's helped me. Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Great feedback. And anyone watching, I'm sure it's mostly Faces users who are watching anyway, but anyone who's not on Faces, download it. It's free. Give it a go. And yeah,
Definitely.
I think the testimonials speak for themselves. Just to finish on a positive note then, because we've got 3 minutes left, is there a
Yeah.
specific time, Meghan, within your aesthetics career that you look back on and you think, oh my God, like that's just such a proud moment, or whether it's like a specific client you've treated that you will like always remember? Like, is there anything that kind of sticks out for you in that sense?
Um, I mean, I've had a few people get quite emotional after I've done treatments. Not, I wouldn't say like huge amounts, but I've had a couple over the years, and I think that they more than any kind of stick out for me. Especially, I would say, kind of slightly older ladies who I've done kind of full face rejuvenation for. And then they've looked in the mirror and, it's kind of really blown them away, to tears. That I think those sorts of moments I kind of, always remember. And it does make me feel quite proud because, you've made someone's day, you've kind of helped them with their confidence. So a
I
few of
always
those.
say you can't have like a bad day at work if you're making people feel happier, making them feel more confident, helping them with an insecurity. Like, it's just such a rewarding industry, isn't it? And it
It is
definitely goes
definitely.
hand in hand with your experience in mental health as well, because
Yeah, that
I
that
know,
does come back to that a lot for me. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
like
Make
I
it
know
feel
what
good.
when I go and get my treatments done, whether it be like, I don't know, a facial or like my Botox, I instantly feel better. Just know
Yeah, definitely.
I feel more confident, and yeah, 100%. It's really, really rewarding industry. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I absolutely love speaking with you. Cannot wait
And
to see where things go with your new treatments and your new clinic slash academy. And yeah, just congratulations on everything you've achieved so far. So thank you so much for coming on. It's been great.
thank you so much. It's been lovely to meet you too. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
lovely. I'll speak to you
Yeah.
soon. Take
All
care.
right.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.